Boa tarde. Let me see. Yeah, boa tarde, gente. Espero que você tenha uma ótima dia. This is your man Larry, the American Brazilian. I know it's been a long while, and I do that sometimes. Sometimes I'll make 3 or 4 videos in a week, and then I go a week or 2, and I'm just kind of like ghost because I have a few things going on. Anyway, I am making, first of all, I hope you guys are doing okay. Hope you are having a great day. I am making this video because a subscriber and a friend of mine, Dedrick L. Hicks Jr., he's a big up-and-coming YouTuber in the smell good cologne fragrances division of YouTube. Go check him out, Dedrick L. Hicks Jr. In any event, he asked me a question. He said, and maybe it was for him and it was for some other people, because he was saying, man, he said, you know, the thing that I get about you every time, like if I look at your videos and I talk to people, people want to know, or the people that I know and me would like to know, why is it that you're so infatuated with Brazil? And of course, I was like, you know, I've kind of told the story ad nauseum, maybe not at length, but I definitely have mentioned it more times than I care to remember. But for people who are new to my page, my channel rather, and for those who may have forgotten, I'll go ahead and I will mention, and I'll try to be as brief as I possibly can. In 2000, in the mid 2000s, let's just say 13, 14, 15, I was head of security for an organization, and I would travel with, I'll just say, the dignitary at that time. So, because I did dignitary protection. And so, I mean, you know, we go different places in the world, different places in the country, but that was like my assignment. That was something that I did. Well, that assignment ended in 2016. And in 2017, after a conversation with my mom, she suggested that I start traveling again. And unbeknownst to me, I had no idea at the time where I would go. I didn't want to go to Africa again because I've been there. Didn't really want to go anywhere in Europe because I've been, not every place, but I've been to Europe. But the place that always kind of, I guess you can say, intrigued me were places in South America. I've been to Mexico, and the thing that kind of stuck out, or always stuck out with me anytime that I went to Mexico, is how friendly the people seem, right? So, as well as Canada. So I said, well, I'll pick out 3 or 4 places in South America that I think I might want to go. And I remember thinking the Dominican Republic, Brazil, Colombia, and Costa Rica. Those are the 4 countries that I felt like, you know what, I think that they, or not even felt like, I believed that was more connected to my personality. So in believing that, I honed in, focused on those 4, and then I went to YouTube and began to do my research. Well, in a weird twist of fate, in the process of looking up countries, or these particular countries, I would always hear about, before you go to Costa Rica, go to Brazil. Before you go to Dominican Republic, go to Brazil. Before you go to Colombia, go to Brazil. Before you go to, who was that? Colombia, Dominican Republic, go to Brazil. So I said, you know what? Okay, enough with the before you go to this place, before you go to Brazil, go to this places. So I said, I'm gonna look at Brazil and just kind of see what is all the hoopla, what is all of the fuss. So in the process of doing my research on Brazil, I came across, which was strange, I felt like it had nothing to do with the topic of Brazil, but I humored myself and I watched it, and I'm glad I did. And it was this documentary by Al Grease, shout out to brother Al Grease, and it was called Frustrated. And I think at the time there were 2, which were available on YouTube for free. I think now they're paid documentaries, which they should have been all the time, on his website. So, and I'm looking at this documentary, and it was speaking about black men doing, you know, basically interviews with black men who were either on child support, felt like they had been taken advantage of through divorce, and just were overall fed up with the dating options here in America. And the more I watched the video, the more I was reeled in. And then they got to men going to Brazil, and I was like, okay, what is up with this Brazil thing? So I looked at what the gentlemen were saying, the men were saying about Brazil, and then there was this one gentleman that stuck out. I think at the end, Charles Tyler, rest in power, Charles Tyler, had the opportunity to. Well, so I was listening to this guy Charles Tyler, and they were saying that he was saying that he had a Facebook group. So after watching Frustrated 1, I watched Frustrated 2, and I remembered the guy's name, Charles Tyler. So I went to his Facebook page. Well, I actually went to his videos on YouTube, watched a bunch of his videos, and I was like, okay, all right. I'm already sold on this place about this Brazil thing. I'm sold. Mind you, I had not even seen the beautiful women, like a lot of them. I saw a few of them on his page, but I was more intrigued with the culture and the vibe and how peaceful people said it was, and how friendly, and how the food was so delicious. I was just kind of like sold at that point. So I went to his Facebook page, and it was a closed group. So I sent him a messenger, a message through instant message through Messenger at the time. I think, yeah, you could still do that. So I sent him the instant message. And I requested to become a member of the group. And of course, I introduced myself. Hey, my name is Larry, and I'm considering going to Brazil. I saw your YouTube video, saw you on the documentary. I'm intrigued, I'm fascinated, and I would like to know if I could speak with you and get more information. And literally the same day, in less than 2 hours, I got an alert, and it was him. And so we were we had a dialogue, and of course I didn't want to be a pest, but he was engaging. He was easily engaged, so I was kind of going back and forth with him. And after that conversation, I said, I'm excited, but I'm gonna put my excitement, I'm gonna shelve it a little bit, and I'm gonna do my own research through my own, like online or whatever. I want to look up everything that I can, everything that it is to know, that I need to know about the country of Brazil. And the weird part about it is, the more things that I discovered, the more things that I wanted to know, the more things that I discovered, the more things that I wanted to know, and so it was just kind of like this wash, rinse, and repeat thing with me. And I got to the point where I was just like, you know what? That's it. I'm going. And I think in that same month, maybe 2 months later, I bought me a ticket, because he had mentioned, or at least it was on, no, he had mentioned that then it was on his page, which is the Black Man's Option, that they were having something in November. And I think it was like that's like November 17th to the 20th or something like that. And so I said, okay, well, I'm definitely going out there. So once I hit that send button on payment, I knew I was locked in. It was like, okay, there's no going back on that. And I had, through his suggestions, I had got on this dating site called Brazilian Cupid. Now, he told me, he said, look, you might not be looking for anybody to date. He said, that's, because there are a whole lot of women here. And he said, I don't even know if you're coming here for that. But it sure would be good to have somebody, if for nothing else, it can be a female tour guide, who in some cases they might speak English. If they don't, then, it could be just somebody that you could say that you've come to know, and then see them in person. It'll be pretty cool. I did that. I met this young lady. We became very, very good friends. And so around November, it was time for me to go. When I landed, like right before in the process of landing, I was like, oh my goodness, and I don't know if I was psyching myself out. Well, I know I wasn't psyching myself out. Things just seemed to click. Everything just seemed to fit in place. And when I got to the airport, she was there, and he had introduced me, he meaning Charles Tyler at the time, had introduced me to a gentleman by the name of Alan Harper. And Alan was at the airport waiting on me. And I had a dialogue with him, real friendly guy, just an overall decent person, meeting him, connecting with him. And it was just so cool. So when I got out of the airport, if you've ever gone to Rio, which is the first place that I had gone in Brazil, you pass by the favelas on your way, like to, you know, the beach areas or whatever. You have to kind of, it's not a long drive, but it's not a short one either. It's kind of in the middle. And everything just looks so beautiful. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm feeling this way probably because I'm on vacation or something. But every day I was there, it got better and better and better. Went on the beach. I took walks by myself from Copacabana all the way to Ipanema. I don't know if I hit LeBlanc, but it was a long walk, and then I was just going back and forth. Didn't get an opportunity to meet Charlestown because I was just so enamored. Like, I really wanted to know everything that there was to know about Brazil, and I said, listen, if I have to do this thing alone, I want to go by myself. I want to like really digest everything that there is about this culture. And the day that I was on my way back to Brazil, I got in the airport and I cried. Like, not like a baby where you know, snot or whatever, but I cried because I was like, man, look at where I'm leaving and look at where I'm returning to. Like, this place actually exists, and everything that I learned about this place, it's true. And from that day to this one, my love for Brazil has only grown more and more. And no place is perfect, but I do believe that just like people rather, no person is perfect, but you can find the perfect person or the perfect place, in this case, for you. And for me, that place is Brazil. So I don't know if that answered the question. That's the long version of it. That is why I, to this day, love Brazil and have gone back time and time, and will be going back soon. I wish I could be there for Carnival, but if you're ex-military, you know, sometimes when you get out and have gotten out, there are certain things you want to do to kind of make sure that certain things are coming in, and I'll leave it at that. You know what I'm talking about. But in any event, so that's it. That is the reason why, in my heart and in my mind, well, I believe Brazil is the best place in the world for me. I love Brazil. I love the people. I love the culture. I think it's beautiful. It's not perfect, but it's perfect for me. So in any event, I'm gonna jump off here and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Hopefully it won't be so long in between videos. In any event, fala com você mais tarde. This is your man Larry, the American Brazilian, saying Até breve. Oh, and that is the reason why I have the Brazilian flag tattooed on my arm. I have the American flag and the Brazilian flag. And I'm a lover of Brazil. It's true. É verdade. Which é verdade is the first word that I learned in Portuguese. So everything ties back to my love for Brazil. Talk to you guys later. Peace. A paz. Peace. Oh yeah, I failed to mention this. One of the most important things that I think Brazil, or I believe or know that Brazil does for me, is this. I feel alive in Brazil. I feel alive in Brazil. I feel at peace. I feel content. I feel appreciated. It's like I feel wanted. And I'm not talking about dating or anything like that. I'm talking about the vibe, the culture, the surroundings. No country is perfect. I know that. We all know. What's understood doesn't necessarily have to be communicated. But for the sake of the argument, I'll say that. However, because it's perfect for me, I feel at peace. And that's something that I know I should have put in the video, and I didn't. So I wanted to let you guys know that. Also, another thing too, I don't think I've ever asked this like verbally. I put little things at the end of some of my videos. But if you like my content, if you are a lover of Brazil, or even if you just travel, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. That'll help me out. I'm trying to get to 1,000. So I definitely want to be more consistent. But yeah. So do that for me, and I would appreciate it. So até breve. Fala com você mais tarde. É verdade.